Happy Thursday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? My name is Caroline. Welcome back to my channel. This is a Flosstube video today. I'm recording here at my work, which is Evertote, here in London, Ontario, Canada. It is Thursday, June 20th, 2024. I haven't finished to share with you. I have to keep an eye on the time today because I'm supposed to pick up Nicholas from school today, and if I'm late, I will never hear the end of it. So, anyways, but I have a proper FFO to share with you today. So I've been doing some stitching. I've been mentioning the last few videos that I'm dealing with a little bit of tendonitis in my elbow, little tennis elbow, which it's funny actually, the last video that I did, when I mentioned it, I told you that I thought that I had probably done it using the pull cord on the generator up at the cottage, and I said, yeah, I'd been up at the cottage and I would tell you about it at the end of the video, and then I never did. I never told you about my little vacation up at the cottage. So in a nutshell, because it was quite a while ago now, this was at the end of beginning. Sometime in May, I went to the cottage by myself. And it was glorious. It was glorious. John was up there opening up, and I texted him and I said, hey, how would you feel about? And he said, I think that's a great idea. So I drove up, I met him there. He drove me over because he was on his way back home with his friend Peter. And I stayed up there for the week on my own, and then he came up the next weekend and picked me up, and we had the weekend together at the cottage and then went home. And I did so much stitching. But I think if you're new around here, this is the reason for the name of my channel, Off the Grid Needlearts. I started my channel back in 2017. In the summer, we have an off-grid cabin on an island in Georgian Bay, which my husband built it. It's very small. It's very rustic. I like to describe it as definitely amped up glamping. We are off the grid. Everything there is very simple. If you want it, you have to take it in with you. Obviously, you know, we don't have garbage pickup or anything like that. So but it's a magical place, and yeah, so anyways, I was up there on my own. So yeah, I think this was caused by pulling the cord on the generator. And however, it's getting better. I'm seeing big improvement. I've been using something called the TheraBar, which I just purchased off of Amazon. It came highly recommended by numerous people. You can buy them in different strengths, different weights. I'm using the red bar, and I'm definitely, so I did a YouTube search for the videos that were recommended. It's called the Tyler Twist method. These are the exercises that you do with this TheraBar in case you are also dealing with tendonitis or looking to improve your elbow situation. As stitchers, we need to take care of our hands and our arms. So I suspect these are exercises that I will continue to do to keep this feeling its best. So the Tyler Twist, and that is what I've been doing 2 to 3 times a day, every day, and I'm already feeling some definite improvement. I'm keeping my stitching sessions short, and I am avoiding knitting for the moment, just until it's feeling a little bit better, because I have a problem when I get knitting. I have a problem putting it down, and that's not what I don't want to ignore the discomfort. I just want to get it to a place where it's feeling really good and then try knitting again. So there you have it. Tyler Twist and the TheraBand. Not sponsored by, but highly recommend. 10 out of 10, really, seriously, for the improvement that I'm already feeling. Okay. just while I'm looking at my background and I'm thinking about it, I'm often asked what the pieces are behind me, and I've talked about them before. I've shown them on video, but so I'm always happy to answer, just so that I don't repeat myself every video. But you know, we always have lots of new crafting friends stop by to visit. So if you have any questions about anything on the walls behind me, feel free to ask. And I'll try to answer you. The latest one I was asked about was that one there. It's a Quaint Rose Needle Arts with the cow. It's called Rejoice Evermore. We have 2 Rejoice Evermore charts in the shop at Evertote. One of them is that one, the Quaint Rose Needle Arts, and we also have the Brenda Gervais Rejoice Evermore as well, which my friend Ellen did a conversion for quite a while ago now. I think that she kitted that up at our first Stitch North, which was over 2 years ago. Time flies, doesn't it? Time really, really flies. It's amazing. All right, let me show you what I've been working on, because I am so absolutely chuffed with this. I can't even. So, and it's fully finished. Margreat Meadows Inspired Spools by Jeannette Douglas Designs. Jeannette Douglas contacted us, and I'm actually going to be recording a video with Daniel, who works here with me at the Evertote workshop. We did a little video over on the workshop channel, which is Evertote Notes from the Workshop. Daniel and I did a little video a couple months ago, and he was doing, we each chose one of the designs, and we were each stitching one, and we were talking a little bit about it. I'll put a link to that video down below. So so Daniel did the scissor spool, and I did the ornament spool. So we'll do a video tomorrow, and I'll have that up over on the other channel, maybe in the next couple of days. But anyway, I digress. Let me just show you what I did. Are you ready? Because it is so heckin' cute that I can't even. I even found a perfect ribbon scrap for it. Look at it, it's so cute. Okay, so let me bring you up close, and I'm gonna give you a little spin so that you can see it in all of its teeny tiny glory. Oh, I'm gonna have, look, my hair. It wants to focus on my hair. So there we go, look at that. Okay, so now we'll do a little spin. There. And you can see where I put it together. Look at that, there are my initials. Nun stitch all the way around. Beautiful. So, I am absolutely tickled pink with this finish. I told myself that I wanted to stitch more smalls this year, and this has solidified that. Now, I started this in March, so yeah, it's such a small thing, and it took me so long to get it done, but I'm just so pleased with it. I don't really care that it took me as long as it did. I enjoyed every single step. I was a little bit nervous to do the nun stitch was easy. So I used Jeanette's instructions as well as a video tutorial by Jean Farish. I basically laced up the edges together like a corset, and I did use some fusible fleece underneath. So Daniel and I are gonna talk about our finishes and our little projects and sort of more in-depth information on the video that we do together. But I just wanted to share that I had finished it and show you how absolutely stinking cute that it is. And I already have plans for my next small, which I will share with you in a moment. If you, many of you must already know about Chris Canaday. I believe her Instagram is private, but if you're a stitcher, I think you can request to follow her. She is a very prolific model stitcher and just a prolific stitcher in general. And she on her Instagram feed, she shares a lot of her finishes, and they are so inspiring. So if you love stitching small things, or if you love specialty stitches or beautifully finished stitch designs, Chris Canaday, and I think it's chris.canaday. So I will put her Instagram handle on here, but again, her account is private. So and I don't know what her personal feelings are about, you know, accepting new followers. But anyway, I suspect, here I am talking for Chris. Her account is private, so hopefully she doesn't mind me sharing it. But if Chris is watching this, her stitching is phenomenal. And frankly, I find her very inspiring to continue my journey of working on specialty stitches and small finishes, because I'll tell you, this was really, really satisfying to have it completely finished into some cute little thing. And I did it all by myself. So I did it all by myself. Okay, the other thing, so I tried to have, because my stitching sessions were shorter in duration, I tried to have specific goals in mind with what I wanted to accomplish, so that even though I had less, you know, time to do so, I could feel the sense of accomplishment with achieving something. So I have been working on Cosford Rise Stitchery piece. Kelly is a UK designer, and this is a chart that she designed with Roxy Flossco Floss and linen, and it's called In the Dale. And it is the most spring-like of spring designs I'd ever seen. It's absolutely adorable. And as you can see, in the dale, a pond, there's a duck family, there are rabbits. It's the most beautiful spring scene. So I have been working on this on a 16 count Panettone Aida. Panettone is the called for fabric. Kelly's cover model was done on a 32 count linen. And so I've stitched mine on a 16 count Aida, and I've shown this before. So I'm gonna keep it rolled up. You can see what I want to show you. There's the pond, there's the duck family. And then I had the goal to finish one of the big rabbits because they are big, and I did it. Look at that. And I'm getting to the top of the egg. So one of the rabbits is now entirely, isn't it sweet? I mean, it really is. The flowers are lovely. The duck family is just the sweetest thing. And then the rabbits are really great. I mean, the coloring. So the floss is, and again, I said this the last time, but I'll repeat myself in case you didn't see this before. There is a mistake in the chart. Kelly swapped the floss colors, the symbols, and so you need to make sure that you're stitching the main part of the rabbit with caramel and not roses are gold, because roses are gold is the accent and not the main floss color. You'll end up with a rabbit that doesn't look quite right. You'll probably notice it right away. I didn't notice until after I'd stitched my mother duck, and I thought, well, she still looks pretty cute, so I didn't change it. So let me show you. Isn't it sweet? I love it. So that was my goal, was to finish one of the big rabbits, and I did it. So my next goal for this piece is the next time I do a video, Flosstube video here in 2 weeks, I would like to have the other big rabbit done. So that'll be my goal. 2 rabbits. Because after the second rabbit's done, this piece is almost done. Yeah, it's so cute. Okay, the other thing that I've been working on, and I was really hoping to have this finished by the time I recorded today, but I made a few mistakes, and so it slowed me up and I didn't quite get it done. However, it's almost done, and this is when I finish this, that's my third goal that I had set for myself. before I start something new, because I have something new ready to go. But I need to finish this first. So this is Modern Folk Embroidery Carnation Vase Pincushion from an 18th century Dutch sampler. So here is the cover model. Now this cover model and the other, there are 3 charts that Jacob pulled motifs from an original sampler in his collection. Jacob's charts are wonderful. He usually includes quite a lot of information on the inside. So I can show you this page here. So this shows you, this was the sampler. So as you can see, it's an unfinished sampler. So he pulled these motifs from the sampler that he purchased and then designed smalls based on those motifs. So there's 3 of them. There's the Carnation Vase Pincushion, the Tulip Vase Pincushion. This is going to be the next one that I stitch. And then the largest one down here is it's a small floral alphabet sampler. So this one's up next, but I don't have it kitted up yet. I won't be starting this one soon. But I'm doing something a little different because I'm stitching mine on black linen. And I changed up the colors a little bit. So it's almost done. Ready? Look at that. So I just have 2 flowers to finish. So this morning I just finished this flower down here. So I just need to finish this flower and this flower. Now there is also a square border of stitching around this design. I will not be stitching that. So once I finish those 2 flowers, that's done. Because I'm going to turn it into a project bag. So I have some super old scrap, kind of denim-y looking cotton. Look at that. Look at that blue color. See that? I am going to frame my stitching with this fabric. Probably like 1 inch to 2 inches worth. I'm going to frame it with this, and then I'm going to use a different coordinating fabric. I'm not sure which one yet, but I knew that this one would be an absolutely perfect match to frame it because the blue is just perfect with it. There, you can see a little better. So, yeah, you know, it's so pretty. It's so, so pretty. So anyways, only because I will be asked. I did kit this up in the shop as a mini kit, like I think it's an Evertote curated kit or something like that, because it's a great way for people to try stitching on black fabric for a small project if you've never tried it before. And it's we have it on Aida as well. Night Owl Aida, Night Owl linen. Mine's on a 32 count linen, 2 strands of floss over 2. Oh, and I didn't tell you that my spool is 40 count, 1 strand of floss over 2, and it's the called for materials. I just used the called for. So this one I totally changed it up, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it because I've just enjoyed stitching this so much. Each little flower has been its own little, you know, motif. Very satisfying, very, very satisfying. And knowing that I had this that was so perfect for it has kind of spurred me on because I want the project bag done. Because I already know I'm going to, forgive me for not editing this in because my time's a little tight today for editing, but I've talked about it before. I am starting a chatelaine design for my birthday in July. And it's the Victorian Garden. So you can look it up if you're interested or you haven't seen it. It's number 068, I think is its number. So chatelaine 068, Secret Victorian Garden. And I'm going to be stitching mine on a black linen. And this is a cutoff piece of the half yard of 32 count Night Owl that I was preparing for that chatelaine, which led me down a rabbit hole of, well, what can I do with this leftover linen? And I just kind of started pulling stuff together. So for me, it's kind of, it tickles my, you know, I like to tick things off lists, and I'm a little, just a little, I don't know, undiagnosed neurospicy. I like things like this. The fact that I will have my project inside, the project that I'm working on will be using the same linen as the project bag is made of. I like that. So, oh, I love it. I mean, how, you can't get much more perfect than that match. So, oh, I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. Okay, so in order to start my next little project, I want to use these scroll rods. So that was the kind of bargain that I made for myself. I literally, I mean, I could, but I can't go and get one more pair. These little shorty scroll rods, I use them all the time. I love these on both I have a lap frame and a floor frame, and I use the shorter ones on, I prefer the shorter ones on my floor frame, strangely enough, because I find that the lap frame brings me in too much, and I find that I tend to stitch with my hand in an awkward position, which puts pressure on my elbow. Whereas when I put the short ones in my floor frame, I'm just sitting differently. There's more area, surface area underneath, because the towers of the lap frame don't get in my way. There's more space, and they're just little. These are 14 inch scroll rods. Yeah, love it. So I'm having the time of my life with everything I'm working on right now. Everything's just been hitting just right, you know? Not a lot of mistakes, a few mistakes here and there, but nothing that wasn't, you know, outrageous to pull out and fix. But, you know, being able to sort of tick off, okay, stitch the rabbit, rabbit's done, looks great. You know, do the nun stitch, check, done. You know, pull the thread from the nun, check, done. Okay, cut it out, check, done. And it's just been, yeah, boom, boom, boom. It's all been good. Okay, so let me tell you about my next start. At Stitch North this year, Stitch North last year, we did a collaboration with Tiny Modernist. So this was the one from 2023. It was called A Stitcher's Heart. And I have kitted this up for myself because we did a collaboration with Tiny Modernist. I need to stitch it, right? So I have this kitted up for myself, but I haven't started it yet. And actually, we now have this on sale. This today is going on sale 15% off because we are going to be releasing this year's collaboration with Tiny Modernist at the same time. So last year's is going on sale 15% off, which is this chart. And I think the floss pack is also on sale. And the called for linen is panettone. So I'm going to be stitching this on a 40 count panettone, and it's all kitted up and ready to go, but I'm not starting it just yet because I'm going to start this year's collaboration. So this was the chart that was released for our Stitch North attendees. And just a side note, Evertote, we are the hosts of Stitch North. It's a big retreat in Brampton, Ontario that we put on. Hannah, who is here working with me at the workshop, is our main organizer of the event. I've sort of turned into the bill payer and the the sort of one handling the major things like booking the hall and dealing with the event coordinator and, you know, making sure that everything, all of the big boxes are ticked. And then Hannah takes care of all of the small, you know, finicky details that really make it a great, really well run, in my humble opinion, really well run event that we've come to love. It's a highlight of our year. We host 2 weekends in April. We are adding a weekend in October. This October is our first one. We did host a weekend in October last year, but it was different. We did it here in London, and we hosted Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. This year in October, it is going to be in Brampton again. It's going to be a standard Stitch North retreat, just like our spring retreats, where you just come and you stitch and maybe do a little bit of shopping at our vendors, and meet some new friends. We still have about 40 spots left. It is a bigger retreat. It's not as big as StitchCon, which I've been seeing all the photos coming out from StitchCon the last few weeks. Y'all looked like you had a great time. If you were lucky enough to go, I hope that you had a wonderful time. All the pictures and everything, stitching and friendships, it looked like it was amazing. And I know there have been other retreats happening as well. I love seeing that on Instagram. I love seeing happy stitcher faces and, you know, hanging out with your friends, and it's really great. So we do still have a few spots for our October retreat. We have about 225 total stitchers at our events, and that's where we cap the registration. That's what we can fit in the ballroom comfortably. It's usually 7 to 8 stitchers per table. Okay, so the collaboration with Tiny Modernist for this year is so sweet. It's called Stitch Together, and it is now officially released on the Evertote website as of today for everyone. So there it is. And I don't have a model to show you, which is why I need to stitch one. I wish I could get that to focus. There we go, that's better. It's lovely. So Cheryl designed this on Catnap, Roxy Floss Co. Catnap linen. And look at this floss pack. I know it's through plastic. I'll show you the back there. It's purples and greens and, oh. There we go, look at that. You know what, I'll put a picture in. I don't have time to edit that in. I'm really sorry. You're gonna have, you know, this is my floss pack. I can just open it up and show you. It's literally my floss pack. I don't have to keep it in. I'm gonna be starting this as soon as I'm done my pin. I'm sorry for the crinkling. There, that'll be better. Now you can actually see the colors. Oh, look at these. Oh, Colonel Mustard, one of my favorites. Colonel Mustard and Over It, purple and orange. Well, orange yellow, like a golden orange. Look at that. It's showing, this actually is a little bit more of an orangery dye lot, but so good. Gold orange. And this is Over It, which is a purple, kind of like a Concordy kind of purple. So now that I've got this, now I can show you properly. There. Oh, so pretty. Those greens, teals. Beautiful. Oop, I matched my nails today. That's fun. Gorgeous. So I mentioned I was kind of into smalls at the moment, so hear me out. This is a 46 count Catnap. This is going to be tiny. It's going to be tiny. So it's only 77 by 77 stitches. It's small. I'm going to finish mine into a little pillow finish, like a pincushion or something like that. So 46 count, it's going to be tiny, and I'm so excited. And I'm going to use some of this linen for the back of it, and it's going to be a gift. So there will be some stitching on the back as well, just, you know, some letters and my name. I'll sign my name and whatnot. But so that's the plan. That's my next small, is Tiny Modernist, Stitch Together, 46 count Catnap. That's the plan. So, but first I have to finish my Carnation vase pincushion. Other plans, I am working on Spring Quakers by Quaint Rose Needlearts. I showed that 2 weeks ago. My mini goal for that is to finish the bottom band of lace that was kind of, I think I was just over the halfway point on that. I've stitched another little piece of the lace, but we've been having some work done on the house downstairs, and everything is kind of in an upheaval. And so that's where my stitching was, and it kind of got shoved to the side, and I just haven't, and again, like I mentioned, I'm not stitching very much. And 46 count requires an alert brain and good lighting. So I'm just not moving along as fast on that. So, but I want to finish that bottom band of lace. So I hope to share that with you in 2 weeks, as well as the other rabbit on my In the Dale. And I'll have a new start to share as well. Maybe 1 or 2 more new starts. I've got the bug, I've got the itch, and I've kitted up a whole bunch of things. So why not? Let's do it. Okay, that is it for me today. I do need to get a move on. I am approaching the time that I need to get my behind out of here and pick up my son. He's my son, Nicholas. He's finishing grade 10 this year. They're almost done. They're so close. Here in Ontario, we go until the end of June. Our school year goes until the end of June. And then they have, they don't go back to school until just after Labor Day in September. Yeah, he is, oh my boy. He and John are training for the Montreal Marathon. And Nicholas has never really run before, so they're on a training schedule, which is actually amazing because it just so happens that we have adopted a dog that's high energy and needs to run, loves to run. So between the two of them, they've been kind of taking turns, you know, they can't take her for the whole distance because it's just too far for her. But Roxy loves to run. It's really the only thing that tires her out. And what a bonus that my son also seems to like to run. So they are training for the Montreal Marathon, which is in September. And if you are currently, I mean, the weather all over the place has been really crazy at the moment. Here in southwestern Ontario, we are having a heat wave currently. And so in order for them to stick to their training schedule and do, you know, some running, Nicholas hasn't been doing his whole distances, but he's been doing shorter runs really early in the morning, or, you know, much later in the evening when it's a little cooler. But the humidity is so high. I'm surprised my hair isn't looking like a gigantic alpaca, but I've been in air conditioning all day, which is absolutely the biggest luxury going, is to be lucky enough to have air conditioning in this kind of weather. So I will never take that for granted. Yeah, so training for a marathon. That's what's new at our household, as well as keeping up with homework and practicing his bassoon and, you know, just being a general all-around good kid. My daughter, Sarah, is off living her best life as a young adult. She's working really hard. She loves her new job. She is dating a young man. I don't have her permission to tell you much about him, other than, you know, I can tell you that she is dating someone. We have met him. We like him. And what else? That's about it. John's been busy in the workshop making those hearthside craftworks, lap frames and floor frames. And we are still, you know, Roxy, our new dog, it's been a month and she is settling in. She's really starting to blossom her little personality. It's been a tough transition. You know, she's got some really bad habits that we are working hard to. It's, you know, it's just time. It's time, consistency, and a lot of training all the time. And it's going to take a long time. But, you know, it's worth it. She's lovely. She's really sweet. Next week, I will begin bringing her to the workshop. I did try a couple of times just for quick introductions, but she really, it was much too soon for her. Her anxiety was just off the charts. So we've taken a much slower approach, and that's why it's been a little tricky for John and I to kind of, you know, balance our work schedules with new dog, and, you know, not having to, can't leave her alone for 8 hours a day, right? So, you know, between the two of us, we're coping, we're managing it quite well. But starting next week, I will be starting to bring her in a little bit. But we're going to, when I first start bringing her in, gonna have everybody meet her outside the building. We're all gonna meet outside and we're all gonna go for a walk. We're all gonna go for a pack walk. And then we're all gonna walk back together into the building so that she learns she's part of the team, she's part of the group, she's part of the pack, and these people are her pack as well as the humans that she gets to live at home with. And you know, we're just gonna take it slow. She's very active. She's 2.5. So it's gonna be hard for her to, you know, she's gonna be bored doing nothing. So I've got some ideas, got some plans, but look for her more in the upcoming videos to come. All right, I really do gotta go. I gotta go. I need to leave. I need to bid you adieu. Happy stitching, everybody. I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're safe and that you have some stitching to enjoy and that you are not having to deal with tendonitis or poor hands or poor vision. If I could wave my magic wand, I wish you great eyesight, happy, healthy hands, elbows, and great stitching time. Maybe a little bit of rain thrown in there so that you can stay inside a little bit of extra time. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.